We do have some people still joining us. I see the numbers up to about 66 right now, but welcome to Friday Coffee. I'm Susan Neal Doughty, and I am going to lead the Friday Coffee. I want to start off by thanking our sponsor, IMC Integrative Medicine Clinic. Dr. Link is on the line with us. Dr. Link, do you want to go ahead and speak to us about your clinic?
Sure. Hey, thanks so much, Susan. And thanks to the whole chamber for allowing me to tell you a little bit about integrative medicine in my clinic. So integrative medicine is where you bring together the best of conventional medicine, but also nutrition and lifestyle, and kind of meld or marry that together to get the best outcomes in healthcare. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. I want to tell you a little bit more about my story. I started in medicine, in emergency medicine. That's where I trained. And I actually practiced about 20 years in emergency medicine. And I could take care of just about anything that walked in the ER door, from heart attacks, minor injuries, lacerations, broken bones, more major things like heart attacks and strokes and acute appendicitis, all of these different things. But what I found out is that I wasn't that great at taking care of myself. And I really wanted to learn more. So I delved into this field of nutrition and lifestyle and integrative medicine to learn more about that. I also found out that these people that came to the ER with a heart attack at one time, we would patch them up, get them feeling better, get them home, but we'd end up seeing them again 3 months later or 6 months later with another serious issue. So what I was really doing there is I was providing disease care. And in integrative medicine, it really is more of a focus on healthcare. So next slide, please, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
The next slide. Yeah, there we
go.
So in America, 56% of Americans.
You want this one?
Yeah, that one. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So in America, 50% of Americans have a chronic disease. And by the time you're 60, it's common for an American to have 2 chronic diseases. Now, 86% of our healthcare dollars are spent on chronic medical care, chronic diseases. And despite the very best in conventional medicine, and we've seen great conventional medicine this year with the development of the vaccine, for example, despite that, these chronic medical conditions are continuing to increase. And what I found out when I really delved into integrative medicine is that most of these, or at least many of them, are preventable, and some are completely reversible. An example of that is type 2 diabetes. With the right nutrition, lifestyle, a low carbohydrate diet, much of type 2 diabetes can actually be reversed. Great studies in medicine have told us that if you eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily, if you get in good walk like Mayor Turgeon's doing this morning, if you maintain a healthy weight and you don't smoke, you can prevent about 93% of diabetes, 81% of heart attacks, 50% of strokes, and 36% of cancer. So there's really immense power in prevention, and nutrition and lifestyle is really what provides that. Next slide, please. Mm-hmm. So at the Integrative Medicine Clinic, we really focus on that. We really try to leverage the power of lifestyle and nutrition to really unlock optimal health. And we do things to look at preventing heart disease, hypercholesterolemia, reversing or treating type 2 diabetes, solving complex abdominal pain problems and irritable bowel syndrome, helping people effectively and sustainably lose weight, not go up and down, but really sustain it. We use bioidentical hormones in men and women when they really need it. We have innovative treatments for osteoporosis management, sometimes medication, sometimes other things as well, and many things to just improve health and vitality. And the next slide, please. In addition to taking care of patients and partnering with patients one at a time to try to improve their health and their healthcare going forward, we also like to teach and improve the health of our community in Jefferson City and the surrounding area. And one of the ways we're doing that now is with virtual talks. And I'm going to be giving a talk on March 24th. Anybody that's involved here in the community is welcome to join this talk. There we go. Yes. It's
Right.
on aging. Yeah, there we go. On aging well. And this is to learn practical tips to improve health and happiness and vitality. We're going to really focus on nutrition and exercise, how important sleep is for so many things, stress management, and the right sort of supplements. And in the months to come, I'm going to be giving talks about osteoporosis prevention and management, diabetes reversal, cardiovascular disease, thyroid conditions, and so forth. So in addition to community lectures, we also partner with businesses to help them improve the health of their employees and thereby decrease healthcare costs. So Susan, I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about the Integrative Medicine Clinic and all of the members of the Chamber. And I wish everybody the very best of health.
Well, thank you, Dr. Link. And, you know, we appreciate your membership. I know that the clinic, you have a new location there on Diamond Ridge. And, you know, we need to come out there and have a ribbon cutting soon. So
yeah, sounds like great fun. Yeah, we have the clinic and we have,
thank you for joining the Chamber and sharing with us. It was a great sponsor.
Thank you.
Okay. Speaking of sponsors, your business can be a sponsor too. It's wonderful to have an opportunity to get a sponsor spotlight on our Friday Coffee, and you get more than that because your business gets announced in our emails, and then you also get to work with Cumulus Broadcasting, Rochelle Weaver. I don't know, Rochelle, are you on the call this morning?
Good morning, I'm on here.
Yeah, Rochelle, do you want to give us a little shout out about Cumulus and your sponsorship partnership with us?
Sure, we're always excited to sponsor the Friday Coffee with the Chamber. You can see our brands down there below. We have the 7 radio stations and our digital platform. And whenever you get to be a sponsor here with the Chamber, you also get to meet with me. We'll custom develop you a 30-second ad that we can run on one of our stations. And then we kind of consult with you to see if there's something else that we can do to help you. Between our stations, we talk to close to 200,000 people each week. So it's a great way to advertise and get your name out there. Yeah, it's
good.
Kind of an excellent opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, Rochelle. Okay, continuing on. I want to welcome some of our newest Chamber members. These businesses have joined the Chamber in the past month. Auto Pro Car Care, Coyote Hill, Jefferson City, Mid-States Energy Company, Quality Custom Molding, S&K Exteriors, and Wingy Masonry. So you see those businesses and the names of the individuals associated with them that joined the Chamber. We hope that you welcome them to the Chamber. We're sure glad to have them as members and look forward to getting them knowing them better. I'm going to give a few announcements of some other opportunities that you might have to be involved in the Chamber or to use your membership. I didn't notice the new bills. Are you on the call, Natalie or Kenny? Okay. All right. Well, I can speak to the social media forum. This is a program that the Chamber has each month. It is on Zoom now, but eventually it may be hybrid or in person as we decide what works best for us. But the topic this month is creating images for social media. And it's always a wonderful opportunity for you to learn about how to use social media to promote your business. You can interact with other Chamber members. It's really a great opportunity for you that I hope you take advantage of. The next one is March 18th. It's on the third Thursday at 8 a.m. and that's Zoom. Also on March 18th, an opportunity to network. Our Chamber Connections is March 18th at 4 to 5:30 at the Courtyard, Jefferson City. That's the Marriott property you see there. Glad to have them as a new member and the business sponsor, Mid-America Bank there. They're going to host Chamber Connections Thursday, March 18th from 4 to 5:30, along with our media partner there, Cat Country and KWS. So bring your business cards and do some networking at Chamber Connections. Another opportunity for networking, we are excited to announce that we will be having our Chamber membership barbecue this year. It's May 13th. It's at Capitol Bluffs, so we call it Barbecue by the Bluffs. Great co-host this year, Joey O'Connor and Stephanie Lehman. I don't know if they're on the call, if they want to give a shout out, any promotion about our barbecue. We sure do appreciate them and the committee for planning that barbecue. We are having sponsor opportunities right now. And as a sponsor, you get exposure and some tickets. So if you're interested in getting a promotional package for your business as a sponsorship, reach out to me or Joey or Stephanie, and we can help you out on that. Another event that we have on, Adrian, are
yes,
you on the
I'm
call?
here.
You want to talk? Yeah. Why don't you speak about the wine event?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Adrian Heckman. I am the service chair for the Young Professionals this year. And every year we host a wine competition, and we get the help with Bar Vino. And we have this year is going to be a hybrid event. So you have the option to come in for an in-person tasting with 5 distributors. Or if you want, you can pick up 2 bottles of wine to go. So every ticket is $40. You get the in-person tasting, food from JQ's, which will be amazing, and then the 2 bottles of wine to take home with you. This year we are sharing our proceeds with Big Brothers Big Sisters, so we're really excited to help them out as well. It is April 8th, so hope to see all of you guys there. Tickets are on sale now.
Great. Thank you, Adrian, and your committee and the YPs. You guys are doing a great job with that. So looking forward to that. And our community partners, you've gotten such great support. You mentioned Barbino and JQ's, but a lot of corporate sponsors that are helping you to accomplish that event and, you know, give back. Big Brothers Big Sisters is a great charity, and glad to partner with them on that. So thanks, Adrian. Just a couple quick announcements. We have other events. The golf tournament's coming up June 21st, 20th annual Chamber Golf Tournament. So if you have an interest in that, you'll get more information about it. But I just want to let you know it's on the calendar. We have sponsorship opportunities, ways that you can participate in that, possibly golf or have your business represented. Just wanted to let you know that's on the calendar. Another event that is on the calendar is our Chamber Gala. We will have our in-person event a little bit different this year. It's going to be September 10th. It's going to be at Canterbury Hill Winery. So we will be utilizing the inside and the outside patio. If you would like to join our planning committee, of course, you can be on any planning committee. Just let me know if you would like to be involved in planning a chamber event. But that gala is chaired by Travis Stevens and Amber Brondell, and they would love to have you help us out if you'd like to be involved in planning our Chamber Gala this year. That's September 10th at Canterbury Hill Winery. Well, I feel like I've just given you like a whole lot of announcements, and I'm looking forward to having the speaker, so you're probably ready to hear her too. So I know that Lynn Cannon is on, and she is going to share with us an exciting, if you have not been over to Riverside Park, it's definitely wow to see this new Riverside Park Amphitheater that's under construction and will be for our community soon. So Lynn, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over the PowerPoint because I know that you have some visuals to share. So
unmute my voice here. Okay.
Okay.
I think I sent you the request.
Yes, and I did respond. I think we've got a little delay in our I figured that out with Dr. Link that you know what I'm seeing and you're seeing, it's a little bit delayed. So
all right, let me see if
I think
can
we're all figuring this out with our Zoom.
Maybe I got it now. How's that? Everybody can see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we caught up?
I think so.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, Susan and the Chamber, for inviting me to speak today. I have just been here in Jefferson City for about 6 weeks. And so I was scrolling through the list of attendees today and I recognized some people, but with the lack of in-person events, I feel like I'm far behind in getting to meet everybody in town. So thank you for the opportunity to at least virtually meet everybody and kind of introduce myself and our company and what we're going to be doing out at the Amphitheater for the city this year. I will start right away with an introduction to VenueWorks. VenueWorks is a full service management company for venues such as the Amphitheater. And our company is owned by a gentleman named Steve Peters. The company is based in Ames, Iowa. And the full-time corporate staff encompasses over 100 years of venue service, and they are the professionals of the professional business. It's a family-owned operation. Steve's 2 kids and his wife all work for the company as well. And I've worked for VenueWorks for the last 4 years. So it has been a wonderful experience. being able to work for them. They operate over 50 venues, mostly in mid-sized markets, so very similar to Jefferson City. They absolutely have all kinds of venues, from convention centers to amphitheaters to legitimate theaters to arenas. And our management philosophy is to bring great events to the communities that we serve so that everyone can benefit and enjoy them. And that's pretty much what we aim to do every time that we are looking at a venue to manage. So each venue that we manage has the support of all of our corporate staff. So in a lot of cases, the bigger venues have someone that leads each department as a manager for venue works at those locations. You guys are lucky enough that I am the only full-time employee of Venue Works in Jefferson City. So I'm kind of holding down the fort on all of those different departments. And we will be hiring supervisors and managers to help out seasonally, because the amphitheater obviously will only run during the summer months. So we are going to be hiring and looking for the right fit people for all of our different areas of the business. And I look forward to getting to meet a lot of new people along the way as we look to fill those positions. I will give you a little bit of my background. I do have a certification in venue management from the International Association of Venue Managers. I have attended 3 years of the venue management school that they offer. And in 2019, I achieved my certification. There's only about 350 venue managers in the country that hold this certification. So I was pretty proud to be able to make it through the pretty tough, written tests, oral tests, everything that you need to do to get that. But I started my career basically in college. I worked part-time at Poplar Creek Music Theater in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. And I started out as a part-time security guard. So I have worked pretty much in every department that a venue manager can possibly work in. I've picked up garbage, I've cleaned bathrooms, I've been a box office manager, I've worked, as a booking manager, and all of the different things that you can even imagine. Poplar Creek was owned and operated by a company out of New York called Nederlander. And in 1993, they took over Alpine Valley Music Theater in East Troy, Wisconsin, and I became the general manager there. And that was a 40,000 seat amphitheater. As you can see, it's a huge hill in southeast Wisconsin, beautiful venue, and it was one of my favorite places that I ever worked. So that was where I started my career, was in the amphitheater business, and so this is kind of bringing me full circle. After Alpine, I became one of the opening managers on the team at the United Center in Chicago. So we opened the United Center in 1994, and I was there for the second half of the Bulls three-peats and was able to watch some of that magic in motion during those years. We were able to travel to the finals in Seattle and Salt Lake City, and enjoyed some really fun events at the United Center. We would host about 175 events a year at the United Center, so it was quite busy, which brings me to Arlington Park. I ended up living in the area of Arlington Heights, Illinois, and could literally see Arlington Park from the window of my living room. And so in 1999, when I gave birth to twins, I decided the 175 events at the United Center just wasn't going to fit with my family. So I ended up moving out to the racetrack and learned an entirely new business. It is considered an event, it is a venue, and we did manage it, but horse racing is not the same as anything else in the world. It is exciting and fun, and there's everything from the millionaires who own the racehorses, and the higher class, upper echelon suites and beautiful venues at Arlington Park, down to the $2 bettors in the park, which is where I used to go before I ever worked there. So it is every scope of venue management goes on at Arlington Park, and it was one of my wonderful place to work that I really truly enjoyed. After Arlington Park, I went to work at Navy Pier. And I think I just missed being in the city. Chicago has got a wonderful vibe. It's a great city, and it really, despite being a big city, it really is a small town. And especially in a venue management business, you get to know people in the media, and different venues around town, and you kind of all get to know each other and end up in the same committees and groups. And I miss being with those people. So I ended up working for the IMAX Theater at Navy Pier and worked there for about 8 years before I moved to Bloomington, Illinois, when I started with VenueWorks. And I managed the 8,000 seat Grossinger Motors Arena in Bloomington until last year when COVID happened. And our management contract, we, due to the lack of events, we were all laid off. And so as I was sitting home last fall and looking to figure out where I was going next in life, the opportunity for VenueWorks to present a proposal to the city of Jefferson to manage the amphitheater came up. And I came down with VenueWorks management and presented the proposal for VenueWorks. And luckily enough, our proposal was accepted, and I am now here looking to join everybody at the amphitheater. These pictures were a couple of weeks ago. It's even different today. Every day I go out there, it looks different. But this was a couple of weeks ago. And then I want to show you this drone video that was taken 2 weeks ago tomorrow. So this is only about a minute long. Get this started.
Lynn, I don't think we're seeing the video.
You're not seeing it? Okay,
no, I think you're going to have to like share that particular screen of the program.
Good, thank you for telling me.
I think I can see it in the reflection in your glasses, but
that's not going to be good enough. All right, well, I'm going to skip the video and tell you all to go either to the Riverside Amphitheater Facebook page or the JC Parks Facebook page to watch it, because it does give a really good overview of where the park sits today. Or, as Susan said, drive out to the park and take a look. It is really moving quickly, and everything is really amazing every time I go out there to be able to see the difference each time. So let me stop this and then try to move on to the next. I think I need to move my chat people here. All right, let me get you back where we were. All right, can everybody see my slide again?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the video is really cool, so everybody should try to take a look at it. I apologize, I thought that would share from my screen and it didn't. So trying new technology on Zoom is never a good idea. I should have tested it out for us first. But what are we up to right now? So we're opening in May. So we are about 10 weeks away from our opening date, and we are working on sponsorships and trying to look for local businesses to help support the amphitheater. Our first order of business is looking for a naming rights sponsor for the amphitheater. And I think that's an awesome opportunity to be a part of the building from the very beginning. We are also going to be using food trucks out at the park for the food and beverage service. So I will be partnering with about 3 or 4 first call food trucks for shows and other events out at the park. Beverage sponsorships, beer sponsorships, catering for the touring shows. All of these things are things that we're looking to be able to partner on with local businesses. We also would look for event sponsors, and everybody's wondering, what is an event sponsor? So when a concert is available for routing through this area, they are looking to be paid for their time and effort in putting their show on. If we are able to secure some event sponsorship money, that might give us the edge we need in our offers to those artists to be able to push that guaranteed money right to where we need it to be in order to be able to put the tickets on sale and meet that guarantee. The benefit for the sponsor is they become the presenter the presenting entity for that event. So if, you know, Joe Smith is coming to town to perform, it could be Joe Smith presented by the Chamber of Commerce. And so there's different opportunities like that available. And we are also looking just for on-site and on our social and website partnerships, including the hotels, because we will certainly be hoping to include the hotels in our business, as we will bring not only the artists and their crews to town, but also hopefully be bringing people from out of town to see our shows. So we want to make sure that we get those entities on our website and so, you know, highlighted on our social pages, and being able to, push out the message to everybody what's available in Jefferson City. Obviously, restaurants and you know, local companies that would be looking for any of that are available. We will have on-site banners available for sale as well. So right now, this is where my focus is on, you know, in addition to, you know, getting everything ready to run with our first events, but I'm totally involved right now in getting this off the ground. We will also be hiring. VenueWorks will hire part-time seasonal employees for the following departments. All of our event services staff, so the ushers and ticket takers to help people find their seats and get into the venue. Our security staff and the parking staff to help get all the cars parked. We will be selling tickets using the Ticketmaster ticketing system. So we will have a box office at the venue on event days that will be available to sell tickets. And when shows do go on sale, they will be online ticket sales to start. We don't have a physical location out at the park right now. So we are going to start out with online, and then on the day of the show, we will have a temporary box office available for ticket sales. Stage production is going to be a huge part of it. We're going to need people to come out and help set up the shows, get the equipment ready to go, run spotlights during the shows, and then tear everything down, pack it back up in the trucks for the show to move on to their next location. I will be looking for bartenders and beer servers, because we will be doing that part of the service ourselves. We will be having, you know, bars and beer portables around the park and available for people to purchase from. And our operations department. So all of the setup, the tear down, and during the event, you know, helping with the housekeeping, picking things up, taking care of garbage throughout the event. I am also available to talk to different fundraising groups about opportunities for them to staff some of these positions as a fundraiser, and we would make a donation to their organization as a part of that work that they do for us. So there are plenty of opportunities for people to be a part of this first season out at the park. And I am definitely looking forward to meeting and seeing all of those different entities that are looking for jobs, you know, part-time evening positions, mostly on the weekends. So it will be a lot of, you know, people who can come from a different job during the day. I often get a lot of teachers who are off during the summer that are looking for something fun to do in the evenings. And it is a great opportunity to be a part of this organization. So some event announcements. We have a full-time vice president of booking who came to VenueWorks from the William Morris Agency, and he is working now to book some national touring shows. Our opening show is going to be on Saturday, May 22nd, and we will announce this concert 1 week from today. Tickets are going to go on sale 2 weeks from today, Friday, March 26th. So we are kicking things off pretty quickly here. We are going to host the Stars Under the Stars movie nights in conjunction with the Park District on several nights throughout this summer. And Kids Fest is going to be out at the Amphitheater this June, and we're getting started on the planning and preparation for that as well. We are looking to work with any local entertainment company that's interested in performing. So I have a list of people who have already reached out to me, and we're working with them and trying to find the right fit and find out if it works for them. And we are going to be making these show announcements and other event announcements throughout this coming spring. But I do have one big first announcement that you can say you heard here before anywhere else. And that is that we are pleased to partner with the Chamber of Commerce Leadership Class on Battle of the Brews on Saturday, July 24th. So we are excited to be able to be a part of that event and to help continue the growth of that event so that they can continue to donate their funds to the event or to the charities that they help support throughout that class. And then I will leave you with my contact information. If anybody wants to reach out, have any questions, would like any more information about whatever I've shared today or anything that I didn't share that you're still asking about, I'm here to answer any questions that you might have right now. And I will stop sharing here for now so you can go ahead and ask any questions.
Thank you, Lynn. If anyone just wants to unmute yourself and ask a question. Janet, would you want me to, it says what ideas, Janet Orienlo says, what ideas do you have for the winter months in Jefferson City?
At the amphitheater or just in general? Because at the amphitheater, you know, shows can pretty much go on. We're assuming we'll put on shows every year from April through early November. Once the snow or, you know, bad weather hits, it's a little more difficult. So that's pretty much what we're anticipating out at the park.
Okay, I was just asking, I don't know how much you've seen, like we have a Miller Center, which is a performing arts center that's owned by the school district. If we had 4 dates in the winter or something like that, someone with your expertise maybe could do something really cool there.
Absolutely. I know that I have seen the center there, and I would love to discuss what else maybe they would be interested in coming out to the park in the summer, and certainly, you know, be able to see what they do in the winter.
How do you get on the list? How do you get on the list to be part of like the food trucks and stuff like that?
Just send me an email and I will send you out all of the information that you need.
I'll ask a question. Lynn, hi, this is Missy Bono with the Chamber, and we are so excited to have you in our community. And you and Phil Stiles and Amy stopped by our office, a couple of weeks ago. So we had a chance to talk one-on-one. And I just feel like in Jefferson City now, we're at the next level with someone with your expertise and your background. I'm just so excited to have you in our community. So my question to you is the opening show on May 22nd. Is that something that has name recognition that we would know without, you know, you giving up too many details? How high of a caliber opening show will that be?
Yes, it will be someone that you recognize. I will tell you that it is a 2 acts that have been long touring country stars. So you will be able to recognize their names, and we will make that announcement next Friday.
And will you do that on Facebook, or how can we tune into that announcement?
So we will be, good question, because we're working on that right now. I'm working on, we do have a press list that we'll be sending out a press release to. We will announce it on the Facebook page, and we will announce it through any of the, you know, all of the local media will get an alert that that show is going to be on sale. So we'll also be purchasing advertising for that week leading up to the on sale. So you'll start to hear it on local radio stations.
Lynn,
yeah,
I have a question. At other amphitheaters that you've been involved in, is security an issue? Is that something that will be provided for?
Well, it isn't an issue. I think it's more that we are, you know, looking to protect not only the artists and their equipment that they're bringing in, but also the fans that are there. You know, whenever you put 3,000 or 4,000 people in one place, anything might happen. And so we generally staff the actual ratio of recommended crowd managers per 250 people is 1 per every 250 people. So we'll have a handful, you know, 10 or 12 security staff members that will be roaming the crowd just to make sure that everything is going okay, and so that people feel, you know, comfort and safety. And that's our primary goal.
Lynn, this is Claudia Cook from the library. And in previous years, the library has worked with the parks and also with the Capitol to host Capitol concerts on the lawn. And we've used the old amphitheater before. And I just wondered what kind of opportunities might be available to partner if we would bring a music group into town and need a venue. How would that work?
That would work out fine. Hi, Claudia. I did stop by the library with Phil and Amy a couple of weeks ago when we did our entire Jefferson City tour. But yes, I am interested in finding out more. You know, we will work with you guys. We want to know what you need, what we would need to provide, and how we will be able to help partner with all of the local events in this area. We want to try to get as much of the activity that we can out at the park because it's going to be such a beautiful location for everybody to be able to come to.
Sure. Okay, well, that's great to hear.
Yep.
Thank you. Welcome to Jefferson City.
Thank you. Somebody just asked me, oh, parking lots. The paved parking lots are remaining as they are, but we're going to utilize part of the grass hill that is flat and not available to see the stage as part of our additional parking areas. So we should be able to park about 1,000 cars out at the park once we get all of the parking areas defined.
Has there been any discussion with the local schools in terms of productions with them?
I haven't talked to them yet, but I am interested in partnering. I actually have somebody from one of the high schools that has contacted me about the choir at one of the schools that I need to reach back out to. Yes, I am interested in getting those school performances, and I would even love to have their graduation ceremonies out at the amphitheater. So I am certainly open and willing. Events, I would book every single day if we could out there. And so we are definitely looking to be able to utilize that amphitheater in all of those ways that we can even, you know, some stuff we haven't even dreamed of yet.
Sounds good.
Mike, I saw your note here, Mike Radson, and I already have you on my list. So you'll either hear from me or from Russ Ferguson with VenueWorks. We're both working on those beverage sponsorships now. So thanks for that note.
Yeah, we're looking forward to talking to you. So
very good. Thanks so much.
Can I ask you a quick question while I've got you? So the show on the 22nd and some other shows like that, does VenueWorks share the upside, the downside? Who does the city at risk on shows like this if it doesn't make money?
That's a good question.
And are you contracted to do a certain number of shows a year of outside events that would generate revenue?
Yes, good questions. And yes, you know, this is a funny business, this management business of these amphitheaters and other venues. Promoters, just so you kind of get an overview of how these national touring shows work, the artists have agents who are out there trying to figure out what their artists are going to do every year. So, you know, in the winter months, they tend to go indoors to the arenas, and the outdoors stuff in the summer is amphitheaters and stadiums. So usually that booking takes place in the fall. Well, fall of last year, we were still in the midst of a pandemic. So we were in that situation where nobody was sure what was going to happen come this spring. Promoters are the concert arms of these agents for their artists. So the promoters get those venues lined up so the artists can tour, and they try to make it make sense. So, you know, they're going to be somewhere in Indiana, and then somewhere in Illinois, and then somewhere in Missouri, and then somewhere in Iowa, and they kind of make that tour flow so that their trucks and buses are just going from one venue to the next. So we work with the promoters and sometimes with the agencies to hold the dates for these artists. And then we try to book as many of them as we can. Each deal can be different. It can be a flat out rental where the venue is being rented and we have no risk at all in the artist's guarantee. The upside of that will be completely up to us to sell our own food and beverage. Sometimes, and for the most part, we share that risk with the promoter. So it's a 50-50 deal. We will sell as many tickets as we can to pay the artists the guarantee that they have been given, and then we share the revenue from all of the other revenue streams, whether it's food and beverage, the ticketing fees, parking, you know, all of the things that we can come up with during, you know, those events to sell merchandise. All of that stuff gets split, and then we, you know, walk away with the pot. So yes, we are at risk of losing if we don't sell enough tickets, but we are, you know, in a pretty good position that it is a smaller venue, so we are pretty confident of our expenses. The bigger venues get a little bit difficult because of the major expenses that it takes to run those venues. So we're a little bit more protected on that, on this end. Thank you, Mayor Turgeon. We spoke briefly, and I am very happy to be here as well. I see your note.
We're very happy to have you.
Thank you. Seating capacity is about 3,000. And with the parking being about 1,000 cars, I think we will be okay on that. Usually it's about 2.5 people per vehicle. I know that we haven't actually parked all those vehicles yet. We have that amount of space available, and there's a formula that you can calculate. But I do believe that we will be okay on parking. We also have some areas just down Riverside Drive that we would be able to also utilize and maybe run a shuttle if we got to that point where we were going to have a full sold out show.
Hey Lynn, this is Misty again. Can you share, I've had a few people text me about your contact information. Can you share that again with us?
I can. I'll give it to you just verbally because I don't want to try to figure out how to get my PowerPoint back up. L Cannon, so LCANNON at VenueWorks, VENUWORKS, and I'll type it here too. That is, I got to remember my new phone number here, 573-424-4964. And I'll type it in the chat here too.
Great, thank you.
Good, I was just thinking of doing that.
Thanks.
Let's see. Anybody else have any questions? Katrina, did I see you were about to speak a minute ago? Did you have a question?
I did, and I went ahead and just sent it in the chat to Lynn.
Oh, okay.
Katrina with Central Bank. I know that you still have quite a bit of work to do out there, but the pictures and the video that we've seen, a question is how you're going to control, we'll call it unticketed entry. Obviously there's paths that lead people to where they need to be, but with all the open space, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, that is one of the big questions that we have. Now we're going to, there's basically 2 ways to enter the park. So we will start to prohibit entry to the park late in the afternoon on a show day. Obviously the pool is going to remain open during the day. Baseball fields will be operating during the day, but then as we get closer to our gate opening time, we'll close down those entries to the park area at those drives and then only allow ticketed people to enter and park. We will also have a temporary fence to contain the venue itself. So we will have ticketed entry areas and everybody will have to have a ticket to get into the park, the amphitheater park itself. So it is still a work in progress. And I always, my disclaimer to everyone whenever I speak is that everything I'm telling you today, as far as our plans are concerned, could change by the time we get to the second show, because right now we're just guessing at how everything's going to work. And hopefully it will work well based on the experiences that we have as an entity and my 35 years of experience in venue management. But obviously we are going to be tweaking every single show until we get to the right fit.
Thank you.
So Lynn, as far as hiring your individuals, can we send them to the Parks and Rec website, or where will you post your job openings?
We will have a website for the venue very shortly. Before next Friday is the goal. And then I will have an employment page on there, and we will hopefully have a link from one of the park pages. I'm hopeful to get a link with them so they can send them to our page as well.
Okay, we do, I'll put a little plug in. We do have a job board on our chamber website as well. So I would love to work with someone on getting some of those job postings on our job board too.
All right, great. I will send you that link as soon as we have it live and ready.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Lynn, we also have a community calendar on our website too. So when you can announce.
Yes, you guys are actually already on my mailing list, just so you know. We will definitely keep you guys informed of all of our information as we announce.
Wonderful.
Great.
We will be building our local database as well. I mean, one of the benefits of using Ticketmaster is that anybody who's purchased tickets to concerts in, central Missouri has at some point had to buy a ticket from Ticketmaster. So they have a database that we'll be able to utilize as we are announcing shows and, getting word out to people as our events go up on sale. So that is a great benefit of that company, is their marketing abilities for us.
Good, good. Well, unless anyone has any other questions, pause for a minute. Any other questions for Lynn? Or Lynn, any other comments or anyone else you want to add?
Just, I mean, thank you for welcoming me. Everybody has been so great. Everybody I've been able to meet has been so welcoming, and I'm looking forward to being able to get to know more of you as we're able to do more in-person events. I can't wait to see people again. It has been a long year.
Mm-hmm. Really good. Well,
I have a quick question in case I hope I didn't miss this. Did you say what time the acts would start, and if there's kind of like pre-show or pre-activities?
So we are planning for most shows to start at 7:30, which would bring us to an approximate 10 to 10:30 conclusion. And then we will, work with the artists. Most shows will have an opening act and then the main act. Sometimes we'll try to add somebody in front of that main act. Our goal is to try to get people in through the gates in an even flow, because we certainly don't want everybody to try to get there at the same time. So we're going to open gates about 90 minutes before the opening act would go on stage. So for a 7:30 show, we would open gates at 6 o'clock and then be able to let people trickle in and find their space. We have the majority of our space is lawn seating. So it's kind of a, first come, first served. So we're hopeful that people will want to come early and get out there and get their blanket on the ground and stake out their claim for their best seats. And then we'll get the show underway. Later in the summer, it's going to be pretty much daylight until almost 9 o'clock at night. So we might push a little bit back for the main act on those midsummer nights, but for the most part, that's our schedule.
I actually do have another question. This is Katrina again, and this may be for the mayor or Lynn or the chamber. What has been the conversation about? Are there time frames, how late events can go and so forth? I'm thinking noise ordinance or noise for the adjoining neighbors. Is that something that goes with the use of the amphitheater, or how are we going to address possible complaints?
Well, I'll be the person that they complain to, but we are also going to try we're going to test out some sound out there prior to our first event and kind of get a feel. The amphitheater kind of faces toward the river, not toward the neighborhood. So between that and the hill, the amphitheater itself kind of sits in that valley. So we're hopeful that a good part of that sound will be contained within those hills. And the direction that it'll be pointing is not towards the housing.
Good. Well, Missy, I'll turn it over to you to see if you have any remarks, and maybe if you want to field any member announcements that people might have in the last few minutes.
Sure. I'll just open it up for any announcements first before I tell you some things that are going on at the chamber. Anybody have any announcements? I can usually rely on Carrie for an announcement or two.
I can give one. April 3rd, why don't I go ahead and announce this? April 3rd, we're having a fundraiser for the Jefferson City Fire Museum. It's going to be at the American Legion. It's a spaghetti dinner, only $10. And if you know Bear Reuter, who just retired last year from the fire department, he was going to have his retirement celebration benefit the fire museum, but he couldn't have it last year. So we're having it April 3rd. Tickets on sale at Carrie's Hallmark. And that's also my birthday. So if everybody wants to come to my citywide birthday party for the Fire Museum, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Q, did I see that you had something to announce?
I do. I just do a little shameless self-promotion with JQ's on High. It is Friday, so for those of you who don't eat meat, we do have lots of options for you to enjoy, and also we've got some new gluten-free items and vegetarian things to try to make sure everybody can get something to eat. And we appreciate all the support from everybody locally, and I hope you keep shopping small, and lots of exciting things going on in Jeff City. I'm just very happy to be here to witness it and also be a part of it. So thank you guys for all the support and for pushing some progress along here in Jeff. So that's it. So hopefully we'll see you for lunch and dinner today at JQ's on High.
Awesome. We won't make any comments about your new hair, other new things that are going on in Jefferson City, but like your new hairdo, Q. COVID, it's the COVID look, right? Any other comments?
Missy, I'll say one more thing. If you haven't followed Bicentennial Bridge on Facebook, please follow our page. Missy is working on that, and we're getting some things posted on there. And if you missed it, about 2 weeks ago, we started construction on there. So very exciting time. So please follow the page. It's just called Bicentennial Bridge. Thank you.
To Quentin's point, I think that's another great thing that's happening in our community. And I think on a daily basis, Carrie sends me pictures of either equipment down there or the Riverview, and it's going to be very exciting for our community. And there are still some fundraising. If you are looking for a wonderful cause to give a donation to, the Bicentennial Bridge is still accepting donations, and we're kind of in our final phase of fundraising. So hoping to have that wrapped up in the next several months as well. So I know Darren's on the line. I don't know if our current chairman, Jeff, is on the line with Modern, but Darren, do you kind of want to give an update, or would you like me to give an update on where we are with the President CEO search?
Sure, Jeff. Just making sure Jeff, he was on here, but
I think he hopped off maybe.
Oh, okay, I'll be happy to do that. Good morning, everybody. Yes, we're excited about the process and the progress we've made with the chairman or the chamber president search. We've completed the interview process and have made an offer to an individual. And we hope to have an announcement really soon, like within the next week or so, regarding that, the new leader of the chamber. Feel very fortunate about, I think one thing we should all be excited about, I think we had 37 total applicants for the position. It was very exciting to go through that process, a lot of really qualified individuals. So we're really excited about where we are in that process. We're also making a lot of progress with the establishment of the Economic Development Organization as well, and feel good about the progress we've made there. And so lots of things getting moved forward. I mean, it feels like a really long year for a lot of reasons, but this included, it's been a long process, but we're excited about where we are. So thanks for everybody's support and continued support throughout this. So.
Very good. Okay, well, if there are no more announcements, we will let you get back to work, and thank you for everyone for their attendance. We really appreciate it. So have a wonderful Friday and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.